So what we're going to be using is Substance Painter to export out our texture maps from um, ZBrush to, um, so we could use it later in Maya and Unreal or Unity. So go ahead and go to Download and Buy. I'm going to go ahead and log out here. And when you click on this, it's going to prompt you to have an educational license. Go ahead and log in with your Gmail account. So I'm just going to select that. I've already got one going. Move it off to the side here. And when you click on your uh, download and buy, once you log in, you click on educational license. It's going to prompt you to enter all this information in and upload a copy of your ID. Once you do that, you'll get a confirmation email, probably within a day or two. And then when you click on your little person here, you'll notice that you have profile licenses. You can click on licenses, and you'll see that it lets you download different ones. Like you can see here, there's a bunch of these student licenses for Painter Designer. You're going to want to download Painter, and then it's going to prompt you for a key, and that's this right here. So you'll download the version here. You want to grab this key, and then when you go through the install. Alright, so I went ahead and double clicked the Substance Painter thing. You're going to get a bunch of these errors. It says you're running, this is your video card. Just hit continue anyway and update all that stuff later if you need to. And I don't want to download the newest version just yet. And you can see I have a bunch of really cool stuff. Let's go ahead and go up to viewport, or I'm sorry, window reset UI, so we're looking at the same thing. And let's import in our low res pumpkin. So I'm going to go to file, I'm going to click on new, go to select here. And on my desktop, I'm going to go to my pumpkin folder and I'm going to grab that pumpkin low. 2048 is fine. I'm going to hit OK. If you find that it starts to lag on you, you will, what's it called? If you find that it starts to lag on you, just go to a smaller setting than 2048. So I'm going to hit F to focus. You can see we're focused in. And the way I'm rotating around is I'm holding Alt and I'm left clicking. If you want to pan, you can hold Alt and click your middle wheel in. And then you could scroll your mouse in and out like this. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is let's go ahead and hit F1 so you could see this is probably the default view you're seeing. So you get a 3D view and a 2D view in which you can paint on. What I want to do is grab the different textures. I want to generate the textures from that high resolution map. In order to do that, I'm going to go to texture set settings here. And down at the bottom here, I'm scrolling down. I'm going to go to bake mesh maps, select that, and then I want to grab a high definition map, and that's going to be my pumpkin high. And let's kind of go through here. Under ID, I want to make sure vertex color is selected, and that way it brings in the colors from my ZBrush model, because that's all brought in through a vertex color. For ambient occlusion, my max occlude distance, I'm going to make 1. And the rest of these settings are pretty much okay. Back to common, I want to make this 2048. I kind of want some bigger maps, and I'm going to hit Bake Pumpkin Low Mesh Maps. Okay, so you can see here that it added a bunch of the maps on there. It added my normal map, but it didn't add my color map. And if I scroll in here and I press 4, you can see my wireframe here that I have all this extra cool information from my sculpt. Okay, so let's take a look at how it looks with that color map. So over here under layers, I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I'm going to create a new fill layer on top. I'm going to scroll down here until I see this base color channel. And down here, let me bring this up so you can see it. I'm going to click on textures, and you can see here's all the textures that make up, came from our bake, our curvature, and then here's our color map. I'm going to grab this color map, and I'm going to drop it right on top of this. And you can see it went ahead and added it. It looks really a lot like it did in ZBrush, but this is our low. And if you want to, you can add or drag this above it, this layer 1, or you can add a blank layer here. You can go in and just kind of fix it up. So say I want I'm going to hit 1 for brush. And let's go ahead and let's turn on symmetry too, because it's pretty symmetrical. So you can see here there's a bunch of these different options. So here's polygon fill, here's projection, eraser, things like that. Here's all of my flow settings. And over here I have a symmetry. So if I go in and I want to make this red, like a red dot for an eye in here, I can scroll down here and I can play with these different colors. So I'm going to make this red, and just click in there, you can see now it paints it on both sides. I can also add a little bit of height there. So if I bring this up to 1, and that'll all get added into my normal map. Let's take this off so you can see that. So you can go in and further detail this. You know, you can I don't know, I can write the name. Like some jerk kid came and spray painted the pumpkin with like the name EXO on it. So let's go ahead and get rid of the height here. Let's make this 0. And he wrote EXO on the back of this poor pumpkin. All right, let's go ahead and export this so we can bring it into Maya. So I'm going to go up here to File, and I'm going to do Export Textures or Control-Shift-E. And the first thing I want to do is navigate to the desktop and into that pumpkins folder. And I'm going to make a new folder in here and call it Textures. All right, and let's go inside of here, select that folder. I'm going to make sure it's a Targa here. 2048 is good, and I'm just going to hit Export. And what we have is if I go here and I open up this desktop and I go to that pumpkins folder in that textures, you can see it created a bunch of these. Now I'm going to delete these because I actually made a mistake. So I just hit delete. I'm going to hit Control Shift E here. And what I'm looking for is under this configuration is I actually want it to be for Unity 5 metallic. So here's this. And I'm going to hit export again. You can see it. I have a pretty good video card, so it went pretty fast. And now when I jump back into that same folder, I get my 3 maps. So the next video we're going to take a look at importing it into Maya and then exporting it out to Sketchfab.